In this video, I'm going to show you the hidden ways airlines make money off you after you think you've already found a good deal. Most people only look at the first price they see and never realize how many extra costs and tricks are built in on purpose. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to watch for with fares, seats, fees, and delays so you can stop overpaying and actually keep more of your money. Let's get started. When you go to book your flight, the really low price you see first looks amazing, right? But it's often a trap to initially lure you in to start the booking process. In most cases, this is just the cost of your seat and nothing else. Because airlines know that most people will decide that they want a better seat or need to bring a bag or need a flexible ticket. And when you add those things in, the total cost can end up actually higher than a slightly more expensive ticket that already included all of those extra items. Sometimes you even end up paying for those things that you never actually needed. So always look at the final price with everything you really want before you decide that the cheap one is the best deal. Bundle tickets can actually cost more than adding things yourself. Airlines love to sell packages that include a seat and a bag together. They make them look easy and convenient, and they try to make them seem extra valuable by adding things like double the points or being partially refundable. But here's the thing. If you buy the cheapest ticket first and then individually add only the items you need, it can often be cheaper than paying for the full bundle. The system is set up to push you toward the more expensive package before you have a chance to compare. Sometimes the website even makes it feel like you have to choose one of the bundles before you can even move on to the next screen. But in reality, you usually can just decline the bundle and then later pay for only what you'll actually use. For example, if you're checking a bag and you just want to choose your seat and you don't care about anything else, you can simply pay for that seat instead of buying a package that also throws in an extra carry-on, priority boarding, and maybe double the points. So take an extra minute and check both ways. You might save some money there. When the airline website says that there's only 3 seats left at this price, or they highlight certain seats as preferred or better seats, that's not always the full truth. Airlines hide some of the good seats on purpose. They wait until closer to the flight and then either charge more for them or make them available for upgrades. The map you see when you first book is partly a sales tool designed to make you feel rushed or make you pay extra. Now, searching for the best flights can get overwhelming really fast. There are tons of search engines out there, but if you've ever sat down and tried finding a good deal, you know how painful it can be to spend hours upon hours opening tab after tab, comparing dates and airports, and still not knowing if you actually got the best price. So last year, Chris and I signed up for a couple of flight deal alert subscriptions, and after finding a solid deal, we were able to afford business class for the very first time ever. Ever since then, we've been trying to do it again whenever possible, and I'm currently loving Thrifty Traveler Premium. They're actually the sponsor of today's video, but this is a tool I genuinely use and love. Thrifty Traveler Premium is a flight deal alert service. So when you sign up for it, it sends you instant email alerts on the best flight deals from over 200 airports in the US and Canada. You just choose which ones that you want alerts for. So they look for and send both deals on cash fares and points and miles, so there's something for everyone. Every alert includes step-by-step booking instructions, verified by a team of real humans, not AI or algorithms, so you know exactly how to book. We're actually leaving for Greece in a few weeks, and we get to fly business class again because a few months ago, Thrifty sent me a deal for business class flights for 70,000 Aeroplan points. And saving up this many points doesn't take long at all. I use an Airplan credit card, and right now there's actually a welcome bonus on it for over 100,000 points. So any of my Canadian viewers, if you need a new travel credit card, send me an email or message me on Instagram and I'll send you my referral so that you can get that welcome bonus too. Now, I know most of you watching are from the US, and for you, the deals are even better. Like, I've seen so many business class deals for under 50,000 points. But it's not just business class deals either. The economy fares that they find are awesome too. And right now, only from August 18th to 20th, it's 30% off to celebrate National Cheap Flight Day. So if you want to try it out for yourself, just scan the QR code on the screen, or just use my code AllieSmalls on the Thrifty Traveler website, or you can simply click the link in the description. The best seats often become free or cheap right before the flight. Here's something a lot of people miss. Airlines hold on to many of the good seats, like exit rows or seats with extra legroom, until the last day or two before the flight. If those seats still haven't sold, they open them up. So sometimes you can move into one of them for free or pay a lot less than you would have maybe months earlier when you booked the flight. So check your seat map about 24 to 48 hours before takeoff. You might get a much better seat without paying the high early price. When a flight is overbooked, the first offer is usually way too low. Airlines sometimes sell more tickets than there are seats because they know there's always going to be a few people who either miss or just don't show up for the flight. Now, if too many people show up, they ask for volunteers to take a later flight. To do this, they usually offer a small travel credit. My advice is to not take the first or even second or third offer because they will typically keep increasing the value of the offer to find volunteers willing to give up their seats. Now, if they don't get enough volunteers and they have to involuntarily bump you from the flight, you are entitled to cash compensation instead of credit, and it's usually a lot more. Now, this isn't going to be applicable to every single person out there because you're like, well, I just want to get to my destination. I don't want to take a later flight. But if you're just heading home or you do have some flexibility, you can get pretty good compensation that might be worth it. Extra fees make airlines more money than the ticket itself. On a lot of flights, the seat itself is not the big moneymaker anymore. Bags, choosing your seat, boarding early, and changing tickets, those all bring in a huge amount of money for the airlines. And that's why free bags mostly disappeared and why the lowest ticket fares keep getting more and more restrictions on them. The price you see first is really only the beginning of what they hope you'll spend overall on your flight. Your ticket price can change based on where you are and what device you use. Airlines watch how you search. This is essentially surveillance pricing. The price can vary a lot if you have searched the same flight many times or if you check the price a day or two later. It's a predatory algorithm trying to figure out how much you're likely to pay when you're shopping for your flight. Now, I've tried searching in private or incognito mode. I've tried clearing my cookies, using a VPN, but none of that really made a difference. What really made the difference was when I was actually on a different device and a different Wi-Fi network. So for example, I was looking up a flight and the price just seemed outrageous. So later that day, I actually checked it from my friend's computer on the opposite side of town, and it was $400 cheaper. Now let's talk about changing flight prices. Flight prices are often sold in blocks. So for example, imagine 100 available seats. Those will be split into groups of 10, with each group of 10 being more expensive than the last. So if your booking crosses over 2 blocks, then your pricing is going to be based on the most expensive block in that span rather than averaging out. So that's why if you're booking tickets for maybe your family of 4, it can sometimes cost more than just splitting it into 2 separate bookings of 2 people each. And dynamic pricing does exist, but it works differently than what a lot of people think. Airlines are constantly monitoring how many tickets were sold and at what price, and how much the competitors are selling for on the same route. And then they're adjusting the fares accordingly. But a lot of the price increases you see aren't just like the airline going in and raising the fare. They simply put like a certain number of seats at, say, $500, and then the next group is at $550, and then the next group at $600, and so on. So when the $500 seat sells out, the price jumps to the next level automatically. Basic tickets usually mean you can't pick your seat for free, you're boarding last, and sometimes you can't even bring a regular carry-on. Airlines make these tickets kind of annoying on purpose. They deliberately position it as an inferior product so that more people will pay extra to upgrade. because who just wants a seat and nothing else? The low price looks good in ads and in search results, but the experience is designed to push you to spend more money. Airlines pad flight times and announce delays little by little. The flight time that they publish often includes a few extra minutes built in, so even if the plane takes off late, it can still count as on time. Now, when there's a problem, they often add just 15 minutes at a time instead of telling you like a full delay right away, because this keeps you waiting at the gate or nearby, which makes their on-time numbers look better than they really are. For this reason, we always keep track of our flights using Flight Radar 24. It's free, it's a live flight tracker, and we've usually found updates for our flight there before they announce anything at the gate or update the departures boards.
Flight Radar 24. I like this one a little bit better because you get the ground radar. So there's our aircraft actually taxiing off the runway and coming in. And soon we'll be able to see it out there on the ramp.
There's the reg. Charlie Foxtrot, India, Victor, Romeo.
And there she is. C5er, sporting that classic AC livery.
There's definitely a lot more ways that you can save money on flights, so if you have a little tip or trick that's worked for you, please drop it in the comments and share with the community. Don't forget to sign up for my free email newsletter. That's where I share extra tips, giveaways, and exclusive discount sales on travel gear. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.